Toyo Tyres Mirage Series here from Queensland Raceway. Their second race in the second round, and pretty exciting stuff. And it's once again Dean Evans from pole back to Giannis Derhams, Taplin, Oxley, and a very strong field of cars here at Queensland Raceway, Mel.
Certainly is, Nathan, and they're just about to get ready to start. Oh, bit of a jump start there maybe by the Andrew Taplin car, the 88 car from the second row of the grid. We'll just see what they say after that. But heading to the first corner is Dean Evans in the red Momo car, looking fantastic.
Yeah, it's got the Dodge Viper stripes on it. It makes it go a little bit faster, Dean thinks. But yeah, Taplin certainly had a little bit of a creep, but got trouble further back in the field. Someone's gone bush. It's the 44 car.
That's Ian Green, one of our newcomers to the Mirage Series, obviously learning what lift-off oversteer is on turn one at 200 kilometres per hour.
So what's the secret, Mel? Just keep the foot buried.
Well, cold tyres, and they've got to get these things warmed up, and front-wheel drive, it's really light in the rear ends.
Well, Dean Evans has thrown the gauntlet down. He's got a big gap, but here comes Chris Oxley down the inside of 2 to 3 cars. Does he make the pass? Sticky forces Taplin wide. Someone else has also gone bush.
Forcing wide? How about not opening the door up? Crash, bang. How close do you like your car racing, guys?
Yeah, kick the door in, and he certainly is charging hard with Taplin. Oxley looks like he's slipping back to third. Giannis Derhams is waiting in the wings, and what this is doing is, of course, allowing Dean Evans to get a bit of a break. Look at Oxley. This is really a great drive for him, Mel, the first time in a Mirage.
It may be Oxley's first ever race in a Mitsubishi Mirage, but he's no newcomer to this category, having raced front-wheel drives in other sedan car series over the last few seasons.
Yes, and he's also no stranger to performance cars. Apparently has a very nice garage full of equipment, does Chris Oxley. Dean Evans, though, at this stage is really starting to pull a gap. One lap, and look at the length he's got. Dean is really the hot favourite to take this series out, Mel.
Oh, certainly has been. He's been the dominant force. We call focused on getting every session completely right, and he's doing a great job. But okay, and have a look at the racing back in the field there between Shane Brangwood and Kevin Denham, the Penrith Mitsubishi car, going on the outside of the fastest corner at Queensland Raceway. What a great move. Bit of trust involved in both those guys, but Kevin Denham's been in this category for quite a while, being followed closely there by David Borg, and just trying to catch the back of the ever-present Francois Jury.
Yes, Chris Oxley with a look down the inside of Taplin this time. Giannis is in the background. Look at him just waiting, watching for a mistake from these two. Giannis, I don't know whether he's quite going to get the pass. Looks like he might have got it on Taplin, though. Taplin has outbraked himself by the looks of things and forced himself wide. So Oxley to second, Giannis to third. That shot we saw of Shane Brangwood before, Mel, that just shows that this category is all about driving ability, because the car that Brangwood's in actually won the title last season.
Yeah, certainly did in the hands of Warren Luff, 2 times Mitsubishi Mirage Series winner. But look at on the outside here, Giannis Derhams in the green car just flicking it into this 200-odd kilometre per hour turn 1 at Queensland Raceway.
Well, it might be interesting to note that Andrew Taplin is missing from the front order. The officials have pinged him from that rolling start there, Mel.
Certainly has. David Borg coming under all kinds of pressure now from Shane Brangwood in the Penrith Mitsubishi car, the yellow one on screen. But look at the run in the back straight, nose to tail. These cars, one make series front-wheel drive. This is how you like your racing, close and furious.
Yeah, big horsepower, great brakes, and they handle absolutely beautiful. Look at Brangwood applying all the pressure. He looked for the inside. It was protected. He goes for the outside run. I don't think he's going to make it stick that time, though. And also in the foreground, there's a battle going on in earnest for second place between Giannis Derhams and Chris Oxley. Now, while all of this battling has been occurring, of course, Dean Evans has got himself a huge gap.
Certainly has been. I just noticed just in the background, Barry Nesbitt just making his way into the back of this group, and he had his car crashed, as you saw in race 1, and the Sutherland Mitsubishi crew and Rally Art mechanics got the thing back in order within less than 1 hour. There it is there, the XN-sponsored Mirage coming up just behind the Brangwood Penrith car.
And what makes that even more impressive, it wasn't just Nesbitt's car that had to be repaired. Martin Bailey's was also involved in that accident. As Oxley goes off onto the dirt, Giannis Derhams goes through to second. So a huge effort from the team to get the 2 cars back in less than an hour. Now, does Giannis have the fuel in the tank to catch Evans?
Well, certainly he has got his eyes focused this weekend. Giannis has done a great job. It's only his second or third race in the Mirage Series, having run in another front-wheel drive category in the past. Here's David Borg there being hounded by the back of Brangwood again. Brangwood's doing a great job up here. But look at Barry Nesbitt coming from the rear of the grid up into what is about 5th place.
What sort of lap times are they doing around this Queensland layout, Mel? Because they certainly would be comparable up against some lot more high horsepower cars.
Oh yes, and a couple of offs in the back end. Well, they're doing about the minute 25s, minute 26s, which is in comparison as fast as some of the sedan car categories with the 6-cylinder engines.
Yeah, so certainly they go very, very quick indeed. Look at Brangwood, he's trying very hard to get round the outside of Borg. The last 2 laps he's tried that outside move and it just hasn't worked for him. I think he's being held up. He's looking very frustrated, making moves left and right. He's got the outside run, but again he's going to be held on the outside. He needs to just get up the inside, Mel.
Yeah, certainly is. He's placing the car in the wrong position, but have a go at the way that David Borg's car under brakes, lifts the back wheels off the ground. How do you like the way these suspensions set up in these Mitsubishi Mirages? Very stiffly sprung, great little pocket rocket, fastest ever sedan car series ever raced here in Australia.
Yeah, fastest ever one-make sedan car series. That certainly is the case. Brangwyn, does he have the legs this time? We look back in the field. There's big racing and a huge move up the inside. Was that Joy?
That's Francois Joy making a big understeer straight off the track. Did the biggest, deepest, desperate understeer, and off he's gone.
Oh boy, from hero to zero. But Brangwyn, now he's got the car in the right place. He's put it down the inside of Borg, and this should now give him the chance to take the place off of Borg. Oh, look at this racing side by side as they tip it in full speed at about 180, 190 kilometres an hour.
That's fairly brave stuff, I can tell you what. These cars, 8,200 RPM rev limit in 4th gear. They're just so fast in a straight line. Until you've actually driven one of these Mirages, you wouldn't know. And the easiest way to drive it is to give the Sutherland Mitsubishi guys a call in Sydney and book your drive.
It's a very affordable form of motor racing as well, I can tell you, compared to some of the front-running teams. Nesbitt has got the pass on Borg, but he wants to take it back. And Nesbitt's got into the side of Brangwyn. Lucky to hang on to that one. Borg's come through. This is what the Mirage Racing's all about. The Toyota Series for 2001, turning it on.
Yeah, Barry certainly likes his rubbings racing. And look at the front bumper bar hanging off the XN-sponsored car. And that car came from the rear of the grid, bit of a front brake lock-up. That allows Francois Joy to dive back on the inside, puts David Borg nearly on the grass on the outside. What a great job they're doing in there.
Well, the panel beating team at Sutherland Mitsubishi will be loving Barry about this stage. He certainly will be racking up the time in the workshop because he's had his fair share of incidents here. Just notice in the foreground, Janis Derham seems to be making some ground on Dean Evans. Now, I don't know whether Janis has thrown the gauntlet down or whether Dean realised he had a gap and has just rolled off the throttle to conserve a bit of tyres and energy, Mel.
Well, he could have done it. He probably looked up the mirrors and goes to himself, well, look at this car catching. I better nail it and get back into it. But look at the way that both of them, right on the lap record here around the Queensland Raceway, they're really getting faster and faster as each lap goes on, as the fuel load goes down, as the weight gets a bit lighter. These cars are going faster and faster.
Well, I've also noticed that Dean seems to be having some difficulty stopping the car. His braking markers have been very reduced now. Could he be running out of pads?
Well, you probably find they have what they call a bit of brake knock-off, and he's had from their left foot brake just before the corners. You see a bit of a flash of the brake lights come on. Looks like Janis had the big dive up the inside. Bit of an understeer, looks up to see what's going to happen here. Look at the revs, you can see the rev counter there, right up to the 8,000 RPM as he changed gear.
Yeah, it looks like Janis did manage to make the pass because he's got through cleanly, and Dean, well, maybe he did have problems with the braking. Here's Chris Oxley now, and you can see Janis has gone off. Now, Janis got the pass, then he outbraked himself.
He must have looked in the mirror and wondered how close Dean was to the back of him and forgot where the braking mark was. But look at Oxley up the outside as well. So is Oxley going to have the run on Derham's around the outside? No, looks like Derham closes the gate on him. Dirt all over the circuit here.
You can see the ground that Janis lost with that move there, Mel. He must be absolutely dirty with himself. Had the lead and just purely too hot under brakes. And Dean Evans, I don't think he's going to make that same mistake by backing off this time around. He's got a huge gap.
It certainly is. I wonder if Janis is now going to be putting under pressure there from Chris Oxley in the Sutherland Mitsubishi sponsored car. I can see Kevin Denham doing a great job up there in 4th place. Brangwyn back there in 5th. And one of the guys we haven't spoken about yet, Peter Lemus, just popping out of the slipstream there of Brangwyn. It's his first ever race here in the Mirage as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Just shows the drivability of these cars. They're very, very quick. They are real race cars. But if you've got a bit of talent, you can show what you're made of and get into this category. And of course, Lemus' first race running in the top 5. I think he even qualified 5th for the first race. So that is a fantastic effort. Now, this is round 2 of the Toyota Series. Where does round 3 head to, Mel?
Yeah, the 3rd round of the series is at Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway.
Yes, and of course the 4th round will be a support to the Sandown 500, so they're getting to some fantastic racetracks. Dean Evans will make it 2 from 2 here at Queensland Raceway. A great drive. 2nd to Janis Derham and 3rd to Chris Oxley. As always, fantastic stuff from the Toyota Mirage Series.